Hello, it's me. A couple videos ago, I built this abandoned farmhouse, but I did not furnish it because I wanted to stick within the budget of my sim who had moved in with the default starting funds, which was 20,000 simoleons. But I asked if anybody would be interested in a furnished version, and a couple people gave me the thumbs up, including myself. It's okay to like your own posts, be your own biggest fan. But I decided to go ahead and furnish this house, but I'm not furnishing it as it would look from somebody living in it at the time it was built or somebody living in it now, like as a renovated house. I'm making it look abandoned completely. I want it to look like this house was left in like the 60s or 70s. Nobody ever came back, and it's just untouched for decades. And I'd like to quickly thank Literal E, Yuki Yeller, and Fabian for supporting my $5 tier on Patreon. I am an artist first and foremost, so I do have a place where people can support my art and in return get coloring pages and stickers. If you want me to send you a sticker every month, my Patreon's in my description. Now back to the build. So I'm just placing the just basic objects throughout the house first. So I just did the kitchen. As you can see, it's just, the fridge, the stove, and countertops. And then I'm working on the dining room on the side here. I wanted the chairs to be a little bit mismatched, so one of them is orange and the other two are brown. Whoever lived here last couldn't afford 3 matching chairs, which this is kind of my goal as well. I don't want it to look like a super rich family lived here. I want it to be like kind of a lower middle class 60s, 70s family who kind of had cheap things, mismatched things. There are some nicer pieces, like the bed that I end up putting in this first floor bedroom is kind of a nicer bed, and the couches that are later going to be put into the living room are kind of nicer couches, but the vibe that I'm going for is still old, passed down, maybe furniture, kind of dirty at this point. So maybe the idea for this kind of storyline I'm going for is the nicer pieces of furniture like that bed and the couches, or maybe hand-me-downs from the older generations that could afford the nicer things, maybe in the 40s and the 50s or whatever, however you want to imagine it. And this house is on the gallery, so if you want to download it and change anything, go right ahead. And I did a lot of research for this build. I looked up a lot of pictures of abandoned farmhouses from the 1900s, and one thing I noticed is everybody leaves their curtains. Every room had the curtains still, even if everything else was empty. Everybody had curtains, so I wanted to make sure every room was going to have those curtains. And here you finally see I'm working on the main living room, and there's the kind of nicer couches. I do like how they look a little bit dirty though, which completely is what I was going for. I wish they had more options for dirtier, uglier rugs, and I did not want to use any custom content for this build because, again, I don't like using custom content for stuff I'm putting on the gallery because when you download it, it's not going to be there, obviously. So if I was just making this for myself, I probably would have downloaded some custom stuff and it would have completely fit my vision, but I'm just going with what I have with the packs that I have, which isn't all of them, but I probably have half of the packs at this point. I buy one here and there as a treat to myself. So the fact that I'm working with limited packs also helps the mismatched furniture that I'm going with because I don't have all the options that somebody else might have. Then I thought that the smallest bedroom would be a great nursery. There's not a lot of things that I could put in there besides the bassinet that looked like it would be from an older time period. A lot of the Sims kids' toys and nursery things are very contemporary, so I think I only put a bassinet in there. I think later on I put some toys, but I didn't go crazy with it. The other bedroom I figured would be a little bit different than the rest of the house. So the rest of the house is kind of stuck in time, untouched, but I really wanted that second upstairs bedroom to look like it was taken over recently by somebody who was just kind of staying in the house. So here's the fun part. This is where I'm adding in all the clutter. Most of it is debug clutter, but I'm starting off with the kitchen. I found this like 6-pack of bottles, a couple buckets, and most of it's just me scrolling through the menu trying to find the best things to put in there. And if I see something that'll look good in a different room, then I'll just put it in the other room. So I found these trash piles. I'm like, this is like a gold mine of exactly what I had in mind for this build. And a second ago, it was very fast, but there was this like broken down fridge that I put right outside the kitchen porch. So if you download this, you'll be able to see it better because I kind of just scrolled over it very quickly. And I'm back to the kitchen, putting in more clutter, more trash, some old expired stale bread on the floor by the stove. just dishes everywhere, trash everywhere, just whatever I could find in this debug menu that I thought would look good in the kitchen. I'm working on the kitchen, but I'm just putting stuff in other places as I see it. Here you can kind of see the fridge outside on the ground. I love that little detail that I found. Now I'm moving on to cluttering the dining room and just, you know, the other rooms as I go. Again, just dirty dishes, things on the floor, paper, just all the randomest stuff I could find. Eventually here we're going to be looking at the upstairs second bedroom, the one that I said was supposed to look like somebody was recently living there. And here I'm putting more recent looking trash, so like cans of soda, coffee cups, stuff that looked like it was just kind of recently used and thrown away. That second bedroom here is probably honestly the grossest room in the house because all the trash in it is kind of more recent and more rotten, I'd say. But yeah, I'm just continuing to grab just the most random pieces of clutter that I can find from the debug menu, placing them throughout the house, placing them outside. I have this pickup truck that I put out there. It's supposed to be kind of broken down and not working anymore. I think I found like a half rusted out pickup truck eventually that I put out by the pond. And basically the more things, the better, the more detailed, the better. I'm really excited to put this on the gallery and see if anybody wants to use it for maybe their own Let's Play or Regs to Riches or something like that. I am using this build for my current Let's Play. It doesn't have any of this furniture in it, again, because with my sim, I wanted her to start with the default starting funds, so all this furniture could not be afforded at that budget. But part 1 and 2 are currently out. Part 3 is recorded. I'm editing it, and that should be up within the next day or two. I also started a Twitch account. Never streamed before except for a couple test streams that I just did yesterday, so maybe I will live stream my next Let's Play for part 4. I usually only have one viewer, which is myself watching from my own phone, because I only got one monitor. I'm not technologically advanced, so I don't know how to do all the fancy stuff like having the chat off the screen on a different monitor, or even on my own like main screen where it's not blocking anything. I don't know how Twitch works, but I'll figure it out. I'll stream it, even if it's just me watching from my phone. And the info for that, as well as everything else, will be in the description as well. So check that out if you wanna. And finally here, I'm just putting some last touches, mostly just some pictures on the wall. And then I'm going to jump in to the first person walkthrough of the house, which is always my favorite part of every speed build video. Oh wait, of course, here's the bathroom. I can't forget the bathroom. Again, just kind of like 70s looking plumbing, I guess. The best I could do with what's offered in The Sims anyway. Oh, and then the nursery. The little kind of toys, little objects, and little clutter in the nursery as well. And then the lanterns. Oh my god, I loved doing the lanterns. It just kind of brought this extra ambiance to the inside of the house that I was just like, I'm so glad I did that. And finally, here is the walkthrough that I've been speaking about. So we enter into the entry room, nothing in it except for trash on the floor and some shoes. Beautiful. And then we're in the living room. Love the lantern on the floor. So glad I did that. Walk into the main floor bedroom. It's a little bit of a girly room, still super cute. Look up the stairs for a sec. And here's the dining room. Trash on the floor. Excellent. My favorite room of the house, the kitchen. I love all the little pieces of clutter that I put in this room. The fridge out there, really proud of that as well. The old broken down truck by the pond. And now we are going upstairs. Creepy hallway, dirty bathroom, squatter's bedroom, bedpan at the end, nursery quick, and then there is the master bedroom. And that is the house. It was just very quick walkthrough. Here's the outside again. Just, I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. And I hate outros, so okay, bye.